Johnny Murray here, and today we're going to be talking about Star Wars Outlaws one more time before release, and that's right. That's because we're going to be giving my final expectations. Now, the game does release tomorrow at the time of recording, or at least early access starts tomorrow at the time of recording this. I'm recording this Sunday night, and early access technically starts Monday night. And this is right before reviews come out and everything. The video that you're watching is going to come out after reviews, but just know I recorded this before it. And yeah, these are the videos that I do before a game releases or reviews come out, just to give my final expectation and opinion on a game before the masses start giving their opinions and takes, because at the end of the day, I want to stay true to what I feel. Video games are art form that you need to experience for yourself and form your own opinions on, and I absolutely push that. That's why we have a podcast called Play Your Way, and that's what these videos are for. So I'm going to go ahead, do a little short video talking about what my final expectations are, where I think it's going to land, how much I'm going to like it, what are the things I'm excited about, what are the things that I think it's going to do wrong. Just give my final expectations. And this is a fun game because I love Star Wars. Star Wars is my favorite franchise of all time, just not even inside gaming, just in general, in the world. Star Wars is my favorite franchise. I have a massive lightsaber collection. I have multiple posters. I've watched all the movies like multiple times. It's just, I absolutely love Star Wars, and I do love a lot of Star Wars games. And this is the first ever open world Star Wars game. I know that's crazy to say because you feel like there should have been that already, but and if you think about it, there's been an open world Avatar game before an open world Star Wars game. Get that through your head. That's kind of crazy. Well, anyway, here we are with Star Wars Outlaws, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I definitely think that this game in Star Wars is going to do open world correctly. Ubisoft usually does their open worlds really well. They're kind of like, I wouldn't say the benchmark, but they're like probably the most popular publisher that does open worlds, like, on a consistent basis. Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Division, Immortals Phoenix Rising, whatever, you Watch Dogs, all of them are just open world. And it works, it works. I really can't be mad at it. They do a good job for it. Now, a lot of times Ubisoft, sometimes they miss the mark when it comes to gameplay, when it comes to story, when it comes to performance, technicals, visuals, whatever. But for the most part, their open world's always good. And I think that is definitely my overarching final expectation is I expect this to be a game where Star Wars is brought to life in an open world that feels fun to explore and go to and do things with fun combat. I'm very curious how the combat's going to shape up because you are just shooting and there hasn't been too many different weapon varieties shown off, so I'm a little worried about that. I'm also a little bit worried about the story. The main character doesn't seem too interesting in my opinion. It is just kind of like a scoundrel character, which I think those characters can be really cool. I mean, Andor is a perfect example of that. But yeah, the two things I'm definitely most skeptical on here is the story and the game and the combat, not gameplay, specifically combat. I think the exploration, like space flying and the speeder stuff and just walking around doing all this stuff, interacting with characters, I think all that's going to be fun. I'm generally just curious about the combat. Visually, I think this game is going to be stunning. I mean, just off the trailers and everything, the environments and the lighting and everything, the textures all look really, really good. Honestly, I'm imagining that will probably be one of my favorite things coming out of the game. That's like a big prediction of mine. I generally think the visuals are just going to blow me away. I wouldn't be surprised if, at the end of the year, when it comes to my award show that I do at the end of the year, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a contender for art direction or visuals, because it looks awesome and it's Star Wars, that's like a specialty for Star Wars. Musically, it's Star Wars as well. Because this is a Star Wars game, there is automatically so many expectations set up. Visuals are one of them, stories one of them, characters are one of them, but music is also a big one. You can't have Star Wars without Star Wars music. It's just a fundamental. It's a law. It's a rule. And again, from what I've heard, it sounds really good. We'll see how the soundtrack actually plays out throughout the game. There are so many games where trailer material or promotional material or like credits opening, the music just slaps. But when you're actually in like a boss fight or when you're actually exploring or when you're doing things, the music is just whatever. So we'll see how that plays out as well. I'm very curious how the performance is going to land. The game has gone gold for a long time now, which usually means a game, they're really confident in the release of the game. Meaning more often than not, they've just been focusing on bugs and polishing up the game. So I'm kind of confident that the game is going to run well and there's not going to be too many bugs. It is a big open world game, so there are definitely going to be bugs. And honestly, most games just this generation have been plagued by bugs and performance issues. But for the most part, I'm pretty confident in that. I may end up be biting my words about that tomorrow, but only time will tell. And yeah, I will be playing this game tomorrow night as well. I am going to set my Xbox to New Zealand time. I am going to be using Ubisoft Plus to play the game 3 days early and get the game, which is $17.99, by the way. If you guys don't want to spend $70 or $130 on Star Wars Outlaws, you can sign up for Ubisoft Plus for a month and play the game fully. But yeah, I'm very excited for this game for 3 main reasons. Here are my 3 main bullet points for why I'm excited for this game. Number 1, it's Star Wars. If they can nail the feeling of Star Wars, if they can make me feel immersed in a Star Wars world, I feel like there's already a line where I'm gonna enjoy it. If they do that right. Now, if they don't nail the feeling of Star Wars, that's a big problem. That's a big problem for me. And so, but if they do make it really feel like a brought to life Star Wars game, I feel like it almost can't go below a certain opinion of mine, because I just love Star Wars so much. The second plot, I think the open world is going to be great. I'm very confident in the open world aspects about this. This is being made by Massive Entertainment, Massive Entertainment, which did develop the Avatar game, I do believe, and they did develop the Tom Clancy Division games. I really enjoyed all those games. I actually loved Division 1. Division 2 is whatever. Avatar, I really enjoyed. It wasn't anything phenomenal, but it was a good game. And so I do, again, just have a lot of confidence in this open world. And then the third thing is I'm super excited, and I haven't touched on this, on just everything you're going to be able to do in this game. Whether it's ship customization, K-Vest, which is the main character customization, shopping around, going to cantinas, walking around the towns, talking to RPGs, talking to NPCs, doing RPG mechanics and elements, talking to all these different factions, taking on bounties, whatever. I'm really, really excited for that. All the things you're able to do, paired up in an open world, all based around Star Wars, if it's brought to life. That's what I'm looking forward to. That is why I'm excited for this game. Hopefully they can execute on that. One worry I do have when it comes to gameplay, by the way, is its stealth. They've said that it's going to be very stealth heavy, which I don't mind that. There are a lot of stealth games I love. Ubisoft actually does one of my favorite, if not my favorite stealth game, being Splinter Cell. So if it's anything like that, we're cooking. But they haven't really showed that much to do with stealth, other than saying it's going to be stealth and just showing her hiding behind walls and using whatever the little creature's name, I think it's Nyx, right? Nyx. They're going to be using that a lot in stealth. I'm curious how the stealth is going to be, and also how much stealth there's going to be. In Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, there was a lot of stealth, and that was one of my least favorite parts about the game. So if it's anything like that, I am going to be a little bit worried about that. That could definitely hinder my experience a lot. But yeah, for the most part, when it comes to gameplay, I'm really just cautious about the combat and the stealth. But I do think the exploration, the RPG mechanics, the traversal, and a lot of the other things to do with gameplay, like space flying, all that stuff is going to be fun. And I don't need the deepest system. I don't need the most complex systems in the world, especially after playing Black Myth Wukong. Nothing's really even gonna come close to that. Maybe until Dragon Age, who knows? But yeah, I'm very that's where I stand on the gameplay. As far as story, I hope K-Vest is a character I really enjoy. Like Star Wars Jedi, Cal Kestis has become a huge character in the Star Wars fan base. Everybody loves him. He's awesome. He is one of my favorite video game characters to come out in the last generation or two. And that's because they they just make him interesting, and they put him in a world that's interesting. So if they could just deliver another interesting character in the world of Star Wars, which people love, especially myself, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to get another character that I can love. Now, I don't know where the antagonist lies in the story. I don't know where side characters lay in the story. I don't really know where the plot or themes are going to come in this story. But that is something we're just going to have to play to figure out. And then visually, I do think this game is going to be stunning. Musically, I think this game is going to be awesome. And performancely, I think this game is going to be all right. I think we're going to be okay when it comes to performance. But there you have it. That is pretty much my final expectations. I'm not going to say what number I think it's going to get on Metacritic. I'm not going to say where I think my score is going to end up, because that's just stupid. Like, why try to predict how you feel about something right before you actually do something? Just weird. But yeah, you guys let me know, how excited are you for Star Wars Outlaws? You can give a number on like how excited you are. Like, oh, I'm at a 10 out of 10 excitement, or I'm like 5 out of 10 excitement. I'm like, I'm hit or miss on it. That's fine. Let me know how excited you are. What are the things you're looking forward to? What are some of the things you're cautious about? And just let me know. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Johnny Moore out. Peace.